Yes. My name is Shrinks on Me, and I'm here with the boy MPH. What's your government name? Bait out your government name.
My name's Miles.
Name's Miles. So introduce yourself and tell us where you're from.
So yeah, I'm from Canterbury. I make UKG and bass, and I've been doing that for about 3 years, I think.
Nice. How is the sort of like garagey scene where you're from?
There's not a lot to it. In the summer, there's like a couple rooftop parties and that, but for the most part, it's just quite, just tech house orientated down there.
So how did you get into music if there's not too much inspiration around you?
So it started with me just watching DJ EZ's like Boiler Room streams.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just watched them all the time. I just had no idea what he was doing, but I was just fascinated by the cuts and like how smooth everything was, and like how gassed the crowd would get. So yeah, I got virtual DJ, and I was like, I'll give it 5 minutes. If I like it, I'll continue. If I don't, and then yeah, from that I started DJing a bit, and then I was like, maybe I'll try out producing. Downloaded FL, and I was like, I'll give that 5 minutes. If I don't like it, then I'll stop. So, there we go.
Now we're here.
Now we're
here. Night Bass EP.
Yeah, man.
How did you start making music? Like you say, you downloaded FL. Were you finding it sort of easy? Were you producing sort of bass from the offset? Were you producing house, or was it like different sorts of stuff?
I started on tech actually, because I was sort of mixing tech house at the very beginning. But yeah, I just watched loads of YouTube tutorials, lots of trial and error. And then yeah, my first release was on Highly Swung Records. It was a little UKG track. And then from then I've just been making UKG and bass.
Nice. So if you're down a pub with someone and they say, like you're telling them you make music, how would you describe it best in sort of like 3 words? What adjectives would you use?
I mean, for my garage stuff, it's sort of, you can either listen to it on a train, on a bus, or you can listen to it in a club. For the more bass stuff, probably just in a club, because it's quite heavy.
Yeah, it's quite versatile, isn't it? Like you could listen to it in a club, you can listen to it like pre-drinks, you can just chill and listen to it. Sort of like a nice like mix of all of that. So a bit more about your EP, which is obviously what we're here to talk about. What was the creative process with it? Like all the different tracks, can you talk us through a little bit about your creation process?
I just wanted to follow up from the first one. So it's just like a mixture of house, UKG and bass. Spend the Night, I really wanted just like a vocal driven, really proper, just grimy UKG tune. And then obviously Inner is very heavy. Close Your Eyes is like a bit of both. You've got that melodic intro and then like that drop. And then Soothe is just like a nice UKG track, similar to Nova, I'd say. So yeah, I just wanted to follow that kind of formula.
Yeah, and obviously you're no stranger to the Night Bass EP. How was your sort of like reaction when you saw how the first one was received?
Crazy, man. Like all the story reshares and all the love and support is just overwhelming. It was so good to see. Yeah,
I mean that's where you really understand the scale of it, I guess, is when just like anyone is just tagging you and stuff. Like they're driving, they're like just playing it at the speakers.
People shuffling on the street.
Yeah, the shufflers. Yeah, the shufflers. Big up the
Nice.
shufflers for Night Bass, man. Yeah, it's kind of mad, isn't it? Like, was it sort of overwhelming to see that? Because obviously, I think you got what, 500,000 streams on.
Yeah, so the first release I had on Night Bass was Comeback.
That was the freshman one, wasn't it?
Yeah, the freshman one. That just blew up. I don't know why, but it just did. So that's on like 600k, 700k now. Yeah. Which is just insane numbers. I never thought I'd see those numbers.
Yeah, 100%. Like for freshman EPs as well, it's like a taster into the label. Like it's your baby steps in, and for you to come in and smash it, obviously sets a really good precedent.
It was mad.
Yeah,
honestly insane.
So from your EP, what's your favourite song? Like out of all of them?
That's a tricky one. I'd say Spend the Night, because it's a tune that kind of style I've wanted to make for so long, but like I just haven't really got it down. But that tune, that's my favourite by far.
Yeah, what was the hardest part about making that track?
It came quite naturally actually, because I just opened the project and the first thing I had in my mind was those chords like din, 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 din. And then it just expanded from that. Found the vocal and then it all just sort of came together naturally.
Yeah. So For the whole EP, is there sort of like a storyline? Is it like different moods, or would you just say you've just sort of put your best tracks into an EP and just?
Yeah, it's just similar to the first one. You know, it's just a variation of bass, UKG, and house.
Are you sort of surprised at the night bass uptake of it, like how quickly it's catching on in the US? Like obviously AC's doing his Garage Sundays and all these sort of streams. Are you surprised that it's taking off so quickly?
Yeah. Because I thought it was such a specific sound on night bass, but it's really sick to see like you know, lots of UKG being pushed and all of that stuff. Yeah, it's really dope.
Yeah, definitely. What would you say? I mean, obviously you say it was difficult to have that Spend the Night track. Like you spent a long time trying to create something like that. Is that what makes it your favourite track of the EP?
Yeah, pretty much. Because as I said, like it's just something I've always wanted to make, like taking inspiration from those sort of 90s house and garage tunes where it's just very vocal driven, got a really nice bass line and some chords. And yeah, I've just always wanted to recreate that.
Where do you find like most of your influence comes from, and like your inspiration to make music? Like do you find there's a correlation between you doing certain things in life and like being really productive in music? Is there sort of like anything that really inspires you?
Probably Flavor D, sort of DJ Q, Champion, that kind of sound really inspired me to get into this kind of genre. When I was just DJing, I was like hunting for tracks and I was listening to all these Rinse and Burn shows. And I'd pick out these songs and be like, oh, this sounds sick, who's this by? Flavor D. And it'd be another tune and be like, oh, this sounds sick, who's by? Flavor D. It's mad. So yeah, that definitely inspired me to start going down that sort of route.
Yeah, 100%. And like in terms of your day-to-day life, is there any times you find yourself more sort of like productive with music? Is there anything that helps you curb writer's block?
Yeah, I mean, because I make two genres, like I can, if I get not necessarily bored but not inspired by one, I can just try the other and then just sort of flip between the two. Yeah,
100%. And I want to talk a bit about gigs aside from the EP. Because I'm seeing the bookings come flying in for you. Like you're playing it quite a lot. Is there any that you want to sort of plug, or any that you're really particularly excited about?
First one back this weekend at Bristol. It's for Stomper Sounds at Dare to Club.
Nice.
It's a sit-down event and it should be dope. And then I've got loads more. Fingers crossed, 21st of June happens. I've got quite a lot that I've got to announce, but. It's all very hush at the moment.
I don't know if it's the same in the US, but like 21st of June is basically just like this massively anticipated.
Honestly, it's better than Christmas.
The sense of relief, like when this is all like, it's gonna be nuts.
Oh my god.
But yeah, like what would be your dream gig as a DJ? If you could pick like a lineup, you're the headliner for any show.
Oh, it would have to be a festival. Maybe, I would say Boomtown, but I did play back in 2019. I have to say Glastonbury, because that's just a bucket list thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I'd be like MPH headlining them Rolling Stones.
No, Jesus Christ, never.
Who knows? If you get a couple more of these night bass hits going.
Yeah, we'll see.
Then who knows? But yeah, MPH's EP will be coming up very shortly on night bass. Is there any socials that you want to plug in particular? MPH_UK on Instagram, MPH UK official on Facebook, and MPH-UK on Twitter. Nice. Very confusing. A lot of MPH though.
A lot of MPH.
And Spotify, you've obviously got to stream that bad boy.
Yeah.
Like nothing else. So yeah, get at it. Spotify done, boom. Lovely stuff.